Straight ahead on CCX News, planning progress. We'll show you what's in the works along future light rail stops. Plus, planning for growth. Wayzata schools form a task force for possible future expansion. And later, a contest your kids could be a part of. CCX News starts right now. Hello everyone, and thanks for joining us. Streets that you drive down every day could soon have a different look.
This week, Hennepin County awarded money to transit projects. Reporter Shannon Slatton explains how one of them is necessary for the Blue Line extension.
These two projects, because they are directly adjacent to what will be the Botno line.
Northside Oriental Grocery will be finding a new home this year. Hennepin County is purchasing the property for $400,000.
That's where the parking garage and bus station will be that will feed the light rail line.
The old Robbinsdale Farm and Garden building will still need to be purchased. That will happen later. But the acquisition of Northside Oriental is another step toward creating the Robbinsdale Light Rail Station area. Some money will go to improve this part of Crystal. Bass Lake Road from Highway 81 to Broadway Avenue is considered the heart of the city, and the streetscape here is in need of a facelift.
City Council thought that streetscaping and facade improvements along the stores on Bass Lake Road was the #1 priority. That could really happen either way, whether light rail happens or not. Light rail is going to happen, so the facade improvements will be ready to go when the line is built.
The county gave $200,000, and the city of Crystal is expected to supply the rest of the money for the $450,000 project.
I think Bass Lake Road is fascinating, and I hope the city seizes the opportunities.
Plans have not been released, but options include not only sidewalk and storefront enhancements, but improvements made to Becker Park. The need for improvements came up during the light rail planning process, as light rail could be an engine bringing people and progress to the area.
There are going to be some exciting changes happen there. Both of those areas are tired right now.
Shannon Slatton, CCX News.
Northside Oriental says they don't have a new location yet, but they do hope to stay in the Robbinsdale area. Schools in the Wayzata School District are bursting at the seams.
Yeah, it's the result of significant population growth that isn't showing any signs of slowing down. Now, district officials are looking for ways to accommodate more students. And Delane Cleveland joins us now with more on that. Delane?
Mike and Alex, the Wayzata School District just expanded the high school and opened a new elementary school. But that new school opened nearly at capacity. The growth is putting pressure on the schools, so the district has formed a task force to figure out how best to meet the students' needs.
Around our district, we're seeing continued growth, new developments coming very quickly. So we have our own systems to look at projections, to look at the capacity of our buildings, but we really wanted to make sure that we're transparent with the information and that what we're seeing is what our community is also seeing.
Kristen Tollison will be the facilitator of the newly formed Growth Task Force. The committee is made up of 25 people who represent each of the schools in the district and the community at large. Wayzata schools currently have more than 11,000 students enrolled, which includes more than 3,400 at the high school. If current housing trends continue, the district plans to add another 1,000 students over the next 2 years. The task force will be asked to review the district's growth projections and look over how Wayzata is utilizing its buildings.
Some of the questions we're asking them is, what are you seeing? Do we need another facility? If so, when do we need it? What's the horizon of that? And then to what extent? Is it
The task force will have its first meeting tonight, and they'll meet the next 2 Thursdays at Central Middle School. The committee will make a formal recommendation to the school board next month. Mike?
All right, thanks, Delane. A reminder for residents who had flood damage from last September's storms. Federal officials say many residents are missing out on government assistance. Officials with FEMA say homeowners who may have paid to fix damage themselves mistakenly think they are no longer eligible. The Disaster Recovery Center will be open another couple of weeks at the old Brooklyn Park Library at 8600 Zane Avenue North, and you can apply for help until January 30th.
A series of town hall meetings with Brooklyn Park residents has led the police department to make some changes when it comes to traffic stops.
I don't know what I don't know, and that's why it made sense to begin to do this, is the community was asking me questions that I didn't have the answers for, or they were presenting me with data that I had no idea where it came from.
Starting this year, Brooklyn Park police officers are now entering into the computer the race and the gender of the person they pulled over. It's a new process that aims to improve transparency. Over the past several years, high-profile police incidents regionally and nationally have raised questions about racial profiling and accountability. And this effort hopes to provide answers to both the police and the public and better tell the story of local police work.
We are going to use the data to analyze, depending upon what it shows, analyze our practices, our policies, our training, that kind of thing.
The St. Paul Police Department has been reporting race and gender in their traffic stops for years.
There were 10 adorable visitors in New Hope today. Puppies in training to become assistance dogs paid a visit to Can Do Canines. Volunteers with the New Hope nonprofit raised the puppies for about 10 weeks. The puppies now go to a federal prison in Osseo, where they receive further training to eventually help people with disabilities. The prison program is a crucial step.
If we didn't have our prison programs, we would not be able to train as many dogs as we do now. It's crucial that we have our puppy raisers here in the Twin Cities and things that are raising puppies for us, but everybody's busy and not everyone has the time to be able to raise a puppy.
There is a long wait list, that is, for assistance dogs, and Can Do Canines is also in need of some Great Start volunteers. It's a great way to have a puppy without the long-term obligation.
For more than 30 years, he's been the man in charge of keeping Brooklyn Park's Edinburgh USA golf course in tip-top shape. Now the golf course superintendent is retiring from the greens. Tom Fisher started on the job back in 1985 when the 18-hole Edinburgh golf course was just being built. More than 30 years later, Fisher has overseen the course through 7 LPGA tournaments, 1 National Public Links tournament, and $2 million in course renovations in 2014. Much has changed in turf management over the years, including automated processes that now keep the greens watered and the bunkers raked. But the course has always been a source of pride.
The condition of the course has always been great, and we've done 32, 34, 35,000 rounds a year, so people enjoy the course and they keep coming back.
Edinburgh USA will celebrate its 30th year this year after first opening in 1987. Still ahead, we head to Providence Academy to meet this week's standout student.
And then later in sports, Terry Tuma drops by for his weekly ice fishing tip.
But first, the bright side to our chilly forecast. There's more sunshine and daylight hours are getting longer. We'll be right back. This week's standout student has a winning personality.
Evie Kenney is a senior at Providence Academy. She not only makes good grades, but she delights the world with her musical talents. Reporter Sonia Goins has more.
If you looked up the word overachiever in the dictionary, you'd likely see Evie Kenney's face.
I like to challenge myself, but also to know where my limits are and where I think I can succeed best.
The National Honor Society student really enjoys classes at Providence Academy.
I really like learning about my faith, but also seeing the example of the teachers and how they're living their lives with their faith and how they set an example for us and all of the wisdom that they have about their faith.
Evie is very involved in school activities. She led the prayer during the last 9/11 memorial service.
We give thanks for the brave first responders.
Evie was also captain of the girls' tennis team.
And it was really fun. I got to play doubles with one of my really good friends.
She also sings in the choir. And she had a role in the school production of Annie.
I was one of the orphans. We got to do all these dances and I love to dance.
And speaking about dancing, she's in a professional dance group.
It's really fun to be able to join together as a team in that way.
But out of all of these activities, Evie really enjoys making music the most.
I'm always going to keep writing music.
The talented singer, songwriter, and guitarist has an album coming out soon. One of the songs on the new EP is called A Shooting Star.
It's mainly about being thankful for all the people that God has put in my life. You're looking for all these shooting stars, but really the shooting star is the person that's right in front of you.
Never knew that all at once is you.
Her goal is to spread joy and positivity through her music.
It's something that's really helped me in all areas of my life, trying to spread joy to other people and just be as happy as I can.
In Plymouth, Sonia Goins, CCX News.
Evie wants to continue doing music, but she also plans to attend college and study education. And an album coming out.
Yes.
What did we do in high
Wow.
school?
Exactly. Not much.
Yeah, right. Still ahead, why it's raining free throws in Brooklyn Park.
But first, the Champlin Park boys hockey team is on a roll. John Jacobson has that and more coming up next in sports.
I'm John Jacobson with sports. After starting the season 1-3, the Champlin Park boys hockey team has won 5 of its last 6 games. Jason Mullo caught up with the Rebels and has this report.
Champlin Park is a young team this winter, but a lot of the guys played on the varsity squad last season, and that experience is starting to show.
It's just a matter of just some repetitions, and that's more than anything else, is just getting to play again and just having faith in what you're doing. Keep on working on the specialty teams, and then hopefully things work out.
We started with like a younger team, so maybe like the first couple games were nerves or something, but we keep working hard, and then we just got in the groove of things.
The Rebels lost 3 of their first 4 games, but have turned that around to win 5 of the last 6. A few subtle changes in line combinations has produced that always elusive chemistry that hockey teams seek.
A huge part of our success is that, and now that our lines are running really well together, it's been a lot easier for us to put goals in.
In its recent run, Champlin's one loss was to second-ranked Elk River, but they played well against the Elks, and despite losing, might have learned more from that game than they did in any of their 5 wins.
We lost 4-2 against Elk River, and they're a great team. And we had a great goalie in net when it happened, and we took the positives from that, and we just built off that. That was key to our streak right now.
Ideally, a run like the one Champlin Park is on would come at the end of the season or in the playoffs. But the Rebels are embracing it for now and concentrating on continuing to get better every day. Jason Melillo, CCX Sports.
The Rebels play Irondale tonight, Thursday, and Coon Rapids on Saturday, and then have road games next week against Armstrong Cooper and Duluth Marshall. The new state boys basketball rankings are out, and 4 of the top 5 teams in Class 4A are from the northwest suburbs. Champlin Park remains number 1. The Rebels are 7-0 and host Coon Rapids on Friday. Maple Grove is ranked 2nd. Their only loss is to number 5 Park Center. Lakeville North is ranked 3rd with undefeated Wayzata 4th. Park Center, as I mentioned, is 5th. Their only loss came last week to Wayzata. Defending state champion Hopkins is ranked 7th. In Class 3A, Totino Grace is ranked number 3 this week behind De La Salle and Delano. In Class 1A, Heritage Christian Academy is number 8 this week. Speaking of De La Salle, the Islanders rallied from down 8 points at halftime to beat Osseo Wednesday night 76-74. Kodar Mar scored 21 points for the Islanders, with Christian Dixon adding 19. John Bezdacek led the Orioles in scoring with 17. Preventing or removing fishing line twists is the topic of this week's CCX Sports Ice Fishing Tip. Here's Terry Tuma.
Line coiling, in other words, the memory of the line that comes off your spinning reel, is a big factor in the wintertime. Well, any time of the year we're fishing. But the biggest reason when you have this big coil, this bird nest, if you will, with line memory, is that you're not able to feel your lure. You got to feel your lure, and then you got to feel the fish biting. It's going to be many times just an extremely light bite, and if you got coiling, you're not going to be able to feel it. You're not going to be able to feel your lure and what it's doing. So that's a big factor. Then if you're using a spring bobber, that line coiling many times can twist around that spring itself too. Another big issue in the wintertime. And to avoid the line coiling, first of all, always replace your line at the beginning of the season. Right now, in fact. Then number 2 is do not overfill, which we don't have to do in the wintertime. Just put enough on. You know, we're not fishing 500 yards or 300 yards. We're fishing just a few feet under most conditions, 30, 40, 50, 60 feet. And then 2 is make sure that the line goes on tight. That's also a major factor. Another is that if a fish is running after you set the hook, then do not reel in. in. Leave it run and then start to bring it in. When you're talking about setting the hook, this is where rod sensitivity again is such a big factor. Set it hard. The other that I should mention is too, what I generally will do is I'll have a line spooning station, have it come off one way. I'll make a couple of wraps or a couple turns of the reel handle and see if it's coiling. If it is coiling, then I'll take that line spool, the filler spool, and turn it so it's the opposite direction. So that's really, I don't think there's really a regular formula for off and on. It just watch what we're doing and then we'll reduce that line coil. You do need to not have line coils when you're out ice fishing. Be sure to next week for another tip. Hey, take a kid fishing this week.
All right, thanks, Terry. Mike and Alex, back to you.
All right, thanks, John. Still ahead, a free throw shot you have to see to believe.
Yeah, kids are getting ready for an upcoming competition when we come back.
All right, listen up, scavenger hunters. There is a hidden treasure waiting to be found worth $250. The 7th annual Plymouth Fire and Ice Medallion Hunt is underway. The medallion is hidden on city property. And here's our first clue. It reads, "We've hidden the medallion for a 7th year, searching all 4 corners of Plymouth Frontier. The crystal gem is waiting to be found in a place where fun is sure to abound." Clues will be published each week leading up to the Fire and Ice Festival on February 4th. Only Plymouth residents are eligible for the prize, so stay tuned. Finally, the local Elks Lodge is looking for a few good free throw shooters.
Yes, you just saw that. He drained a free throw backwards. But you don't need to be a magician to participate in the 45th annual Elks Hoop Shoot coming up later this month. Boys and girls ages 8 to 13 are placed in 3 different age groupings. And this contest isn't just about making shots, it's about connecting with other kids.
The competition is important to the kids, of course, but it's basically to bring them together and to keep them active and doing things positively.
The local Elks Lodge Hoop Shoot takes place Sunday, January 15th at the Zanewood Rec Center in Brooklyn Park. Registration starts at 11 a.m. And those with the best shot advance to the district and then state levels before possibly moving on to national competition. So it's very exciting.
Yeah,
a lot of fun.
Backwards
I like
shooting
that.
there,
Wasn't that great? That's it for now. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
We will see you back here on Friday starting at 4 o'clock.